We're facing an unprecedented era in advances in biology. We will soon understand human nature and be able to manipulate that human nature. This could liberate us from our evolutionary limitations. I call this idea bio-liberation, but it could also threaten our very existence. We've long sought to improve ourselves through traditional means, such as cosmetic surgery or body art. But we're now approaching this in a scientific way. We've developed, at the moment, drugs and chemicals which enhance human performance. Caffeine, the world's second largest export, modafinil, which improves memory and executive function, Ritalin, Adderall, human growth hormone, EPO, anabolic steroids, and of course Viagra down the bottom on the left. But more radical advances are on the horizon. The rabbit on the top is Alba. It's fluorescent. It's fluorescent because it's had a gene from a jellyfish genetically engineered into it. Down the bottom is a human embryo with a gene from a jellyfish engineered into it. This shows us that we can integrate genes from any non-human animal into humans, promote longevity, owl-like vision, or even bat sonar.
Scientists in Hawaii and Istanbul have created rabbits that glow in the dark. The two transgenic rabbits were born earlier this month at the University of Istanbul. The Turkish researchers used an active transgenesis technique developed by medical researchers at the University of Hawaii in Manoa.
Mumtaz is a mythical half-fox, half-woman creature who also talks to visitors. The creature is played by a man who dresses as a woman who looks like she is attached to the body of a fox. 33-year-old Murad Ali is the man behind Mumtaz, playing her character for 12 hours every day. He inherited the role from his father, who died 16 years ago.
Smaller memories, usually of laying on a tree branch or sitting on a rock and looking out across the savannah. And this was before I even knew what the savannah was, before I'd even seen a photograph or a video. Externally, I am a human being. I have these hands and this body, but internally, I am a leopard.
warning signs of satanic behavior may be apparent, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music, almost to the point of addiction. Others are drawn into Satanism by heavy metal rock music. These heavy metal groups flaunt satanic symbols on their album covers and anti-Christian satanic messages in their music. Their songs promote the demonic themes of death, doom, violence, and the rejection of morality and religion.
parents, warning signs that might indicate a child's drift towards Satanism include abrupt emotional changes, changes in school habits, rejection of parental values, unusual interest in books on Satanism, black magic, or witchcraft, obsession with rock music groups using satanic symbols or references, rejection of friends, preference for being alone, meditation, chanting, use of new vocabulary. The Geraldo Rivera special, Devil Worship, will continue.
I'm Sam, and basically I'm here because I want to be your friend. What's your name? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about you now. Like, where are you from? That's a nice part of the country.
bottom, she's wearing a NASA shirt. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? So I wrote it down in my notes app to think about it later, and it's clicking. Bottoms like NASA because we like looking up.
In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. I function in a dual-role capacity as a tradesman and a firefighter. My responsibilities required me to be more informed than most of my crew and offered me complete access to the facilities. What I learned from this unique experience needs to be shared with the entire world. The technology at the South Pole Station certainly can do what it is presented as its primary purposes, and unfortunately, much more. The IceCube neutrino detector is presented as a passive listening device for the purposes of the science as presented. But I'm going to skip right through the chase, folks. I have provided documentation that proves that the 5,160 what they call DOMs that are embedded in the ice can actually transmit at 2,047 volts each. That gives us a long list of things to consider. It is effectively a multifaceted directed energy weapons platform.
The climate crisis is growing by the day. You just saw and have reported on what happened in New York. All around the world, there are record-breaking days where the heat is greater than it's ever been before. This will be the hottest June and July. It'll be the hottest summer. It'll be the hottest year. And we all know that because the science is telling it to us and because Mother Earth is responding by telling us exactly what's going on.
Scientists have recently created a genetically engineered super mouse which metabolizes glucose differently. It can run at 20 meters a minute for 5 hours without a rest. Here you see at the back a normal mouse. It collapses after 200 metres. Super mouse goes on for 5 kilometres. We have the same gene as super mouse. We could create superhumans today. The reason why there are no super mice in nature is because of the metabolic demands, but of course we have enough energy to drive this metabolism. Super mouse lives longer, is healthier, has lower cholesterol, and reproduces to the equivalent of the age of 80 in human terms. We could alter our evolution in exactly the same way. Humans have the largest brain possible, one, because of the female birth canal, and two, because of the metabolic demands of the brain. Evolution simply didn't have enough energy to create larger brains. But today, by using nerve growth factors after birth, we could alter neuronal mass and development. We could also use nanotechnology. We also have enough food to supply these sorts of brains. Scientists in the UK and China are fusing rabbit eggs with human DNA to create organs and tissues through regenerative medicine, as we've heard. We could also create with the same technology human chimp chimeras at $6 million. Scientists have already integrated animal neurons and embryonic stem cells, human embryonic stem cells into animals. How could we use this power? This is an IQ curve. All capabilities and dispositions are distributed differently. We see here that the curve tails off to the left. If you're below 70, you're said to be intellectually disabled and have a disease. But you need an IQ of 90 to complete a tax return in the US. Over 20% of normal people lack an IQ to complete a tax return. Enhancement can be cheap. 1 in 3 people around the world don't get enough iodine. This results in the loss of 1 billion IQ points of mental capital around the world. It only costs 2 to 3 cents per person per year to remove this. Choline, present naturally in eggs, could augment fetal IQ, and modafinil costs the same price as smoking 2 packets of cigarettes a day. The benefits on offer are enormous in social and economic terms. Shifting the IQ curve 3 points to the right would reduce males in jail and poverty by 25% and welfare recipiency by 18%. It would add about 1.5% GDP to the American economy and $200 billion. The US military said that this would rival the introduction of the internet. Of course there are downsides. Differential access to expensive enhancement technologies could radically increase inequality and write that very inequality into our biology. Our challenge is to reduce this inequality as these technologies become available. But there are even more disastrous effects of inequality on the horizon. Scientists a few years ago engineered a version of natural mousepox virus that affects the mouse in the top there, which was 100% lethal and vaccine resistant. They published it on the internet. The same technology could be used to easily modify human smallpox, now eradicated by vaccination, and render a vaccine-resistant super strain. They've also engineered polio, live and infectious in the laboratory. These could be used to wipe out humanity. The answer may reside in our own biology. Criminality has been linked to a mutation on the X chromosome when coupled with social deprivation. Drugs can influence our moral behaviour. Oxytocin, a hormone present in women during breastfeeding, promotes trust, and serotonin reuptake inhibitors like Prozac promote cooperation. This is a vole. The mountain vole is a species of vole which is characteristically polygamous. The related prairie vole is monogamous. You can genetically engineer the polygamous ones to be monogamous. The same gene is present in humans. Men who have 2 copies of the polygamous version are more likely to be unhappily married, non-married, and with unhappy partners. All humans experience the same 3 phases of human relationships as animals. These are capable of biological manipulation. Testosterone increases female sex drive, estrogen reduces male sex drive, oxytocin promotes pair bonding and trust. Even love and human relationships are up for enhancement. The biological revolution heralds a time of both bio-liberation and bio-threat. Our challenge is to have the benefits without the risk. And for once, the solution is simple. We've created an institute for the study of human enhancement because wouldn't we all want to have better lives?
Your class is one of the most diverse classes in the history of this academy or any academy to graduate. That's why we're strong. That's why we're who we are.
Wow, 天哪！
I think the reason that they are announcing it in Joburg in August is more of a psychological, the psychological impact on the world and the global markets, that this is the definitive step towards de-dollarization, a gold-backed currency by the southern countries of the world. Of course, they want to ditch the dollar. The dollar has had its run since the end of World War II. The U.S. debt is tens of trillions of dollars. It will never be paid back. Everybody knows it. Even the euro, tens of trillions of dollars in debt. None of those countries. Japan is in massive debt. England is in massive debt. China is not. I don't know about South Africa. Russia is not. So abandoning the dollar as much as possible is a way to anticipate the eventual crash of the U.S. dollar, because at the rate that they're borrowing money and paying interest. And again, this takes time, but eventually it's going. The birds are going to come home to roost, and the dollar's going to crash.